Welcome back to another video. Let's get started. I am finally able to create this most anticipated video that I've been most excited for, and that is my Milkytober video. Now, Milkytober is created by the one and only Milkytober on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. And I really appreciate them creating this art prompt because without this art prompt, I don't think I would have been continuing Inktober, but also I had so much fun doing their art prompt. Not because of how creative and how expressive they are, but I just really love the fact that they shared a prompt that literally is for the community, by the community. And I really hope that Milky Tomato creates another Milkytober, but if not, hey, I am really happy with this year's Milkytober or last year's Milkytober. And again, I will be talking a lot about how I feel about Milkytober, what I liked about Milkytober, and also just how I felt in general about doing Milkytober versus Inktober. Also, it is really hard for me to pronounce Milkytober instead of Inktober. So if I do make mistakes here and there, I'm not doing it on purpose. It's on accident. I'm doing this all out of excitement, adrenaline, and just pure excitement. So I say grab yourself your favorite spooky blanket and your favorite lovable snack, and I hope that you guys enjoy this video. So I am participating in Milkytober, and I really like Milkytober. Unfortunately, I did not create a cover for it because, again, Milkytober came out on October 1st, while Inktober came out literally at the middle to end of September. And that's something that I really both like and dislike about Inktober. I like the fact that Inktober is able to drop the list early September, but at the same time, I felt that it's a little bit overwhelming when it comes to seeing the list for the very first time. Because yes, it does give you time to consider either doing Inktober or another art prompt. But again, I still felt really overwhelmed when it came to looking at the list because every time that I looked at the list, I felt that literally, anytime that I was looking at the list, I kept on getting confused at the words because either the words are, again, confusing and I don't know what the objects are, and half the time I still had to look up on Pinterest or look on Safari or look on Google to see what that image or what that word means, because most of the words I read and see, I don't understand because they're either too big for me to understand or I don't recognize what the word means. Like, I understand that Inktober is trying to be this modern and artsy type of art prompt, but it's just so overwhelming every time that I see that list and every time that I go over it and try to plan out what I want to draw. I either skip it or I either don't do the prompt as a whole. And I just get frustrated with myself because I felt like I was giving up on Inktober. Now, for Milkytober, I never had a problem with any of the prompts. All of the prompts were really fun and really engaging. Yes, the first few days of Milkytober, Milky Tomato themselves was able to participate, but after a while they got busier and busier, and I'm not going to be blaming their schedule on them not being able to participate, but I just love the fact that if you ever have a busy schedule and if you did try to make commitments to trying to do Inktober or Milkytober, again, life has its way of coming in and telling you, hey, you have to do this and not do this art prompt because life comes first and art prompts come second. But to me, I felt that it was really comforting to see other artists not finish an art prompt. I felt that it was a lot of pressure to finish a certain art prompt on time because if you didn't, then you gave up on the channel or challenge, or you gave up on the art as a whole. And that's how I didn't see it during Milkytober. I felt that there was less pressure. I felt that there was no pressure at all. I felt that I was able to participate in this art challenge and I was able to make these types of videos really colorful and fun and engaging for the community because it wasn't, again, there were so many different types of versions and so many different types of styles being shown and being represented for each of the prompts. And I love that. I love the fact there was so much color. I love the fact that there was so much variation to it. Compared to Inktober, I felt that Inktober was more towards digital and less traditional. And I understand that, yes, that their main goal is to show off traditional, but last year there was no representation of digital. There was no representation of traditional. I felt that there was more digital and less traditional. So when it came to me seeing Milkytober do both traditional and digital, I felt that there was representation of both communities. And don't get me wrong, yes, Inktober does do both, but most of the time it is mostly digital. And half the time that they do choose traditional, it's mostly these really like big, inky, and well-detailed prompts that are made by these artists who've been doing art for many, many years. Compared to Inktober or Milkytober, I felt that Milkytober was not so much pressure because many artists who don't have that much experience to art were able to express themselves and show off their creativity. I remember when I was making a video on TikTok that an artist was able to show me their drawing, and I loved the fact that it looked so scratchy and so different and so just colorful. And I love that. I love the fact that artists are able to draw, create, and make their own art, because art can be different definitions, can be different variations, could be used in different types of medias and used in different types of ways to express yourself, because that's what art is. Art is there to help with your coping skills. Art is there to help you show and express yourself. Art is there to enjoy and express how you cope and how you create as a whole. And again, I love the fact that artists are able to do this, and I love the fact that Milkytober was able to give to the community by doing this art prompt. I love the fact that she was able to make this so colorful and lively. Like, any time that you open up the prompt list for Milkytober, it was just so colorful with all of the cute little sprinkles, the cute name on the top, and it just felt so welcoming and warm. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to say that, yes, Milkytober was prompts is really cute and adorable. But when it came to looking at other Inktober prompts, like last year, there were so many artists that made so many different types of prompts. Like, I can remember there was Spilled Inktober, there was Goretober, there was Cringetober, and so many more art-related challenges. And I felt that it was so awesome to see that all of these different artists inputting their own challenges, inputting their own prompts, inputting so much creativity throughout the art community. There were so many prompts that I was just so excited, but also so overwhelmed into choosing. The moment that I saw Milkytober, I felt that their prompt was really intriguing, but also I felt that their prompt was the most engaging. I also love that each prompt was really fun and interactive. Like, I love the fact that one of the prompts was talking about a clown cake. And of course, I had to draw the clown cake from Baskin-Robbins. So that made me really excited and happy. I also love the fact that most of the prompts were not too, headachy or not too much of a pain. I felt that each of the prompts were really, thought through. I really loved how some prompts are really cute and adorable, while other prompts were okay, we have to make sure to tie in that spooky Halloween aesthetic towards it. And again, I love it. I love the fact that there were moments where it was let's do something cute, let's do something adorable, and then the next moment it's okay, we have to do something really spooky and scary. And again, I felt that most of the drawings that I was making weren't towards the scary, spooky type aesthetic. I felt that most of the prompts most of my drawings were really fun and really bright and colorful. Most of the time, I really wanted to make sure to do the primary colors because those were actually Milkytober's favorite colors. So I wanted to give homage and thanks to her. But most of the time, the prompts that I was drawing in and the prompts that I was making, I felt that most of the drawings that I was making were atop of my head. And I didn't rely on Pinterest, or I didn't rely on Safari or Google to help me with understanding the words or understanding what I needed to draw. Most of the time when I was reading the prompt list or just figuring out what the next drawing I wanted to make, I made sure that it wasn't too complex, that it was to the point. Yes, because I wanted to make sure that it fit through my schedule of both school and TikTok, but I also wanted to make sure that I was still giving good quality art because, again, as an artist, I want to make sure that I show my full potential as an artist. I want to show off that some art will be great, some art will be bad, but mostly art is like perfect when you put in the time and when you put in the effort. But also making sure that you take your time into creating something very new and something very like elegant. Watercolor is really, 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 really picky sometimes. Sometimes it will be quick and easy to dry, and other times it will be really runny and won't be dried until the next day. So I made sure to be very patient when it came to watercolor, but also I wanted to make sure that I gave quality art because, again, I felt that Milkytober was a thankful blessing to the art community because to the ones who participated in Inktober, I questioned them and I also praised them because how were they able to do the Inktober last year and I wasn't? Was it because I was finally over Inktober, or was it because I was finally getting burned out with the prompts that were really confusing me and really overwhelming me? And I didn't know what. But ever since I started Milkytober last year, I totally forgot about Inktober. And I didn't think that I'd ever go back to doing Inktober. I felt that Milkytober, Spilled Inktober, and all of these different types of art prompts were a way for me to express myself and show off my artist potential through these types of prompts. And I love the fact that each prompt have different meanings, different representations, and different ways of expressing yourself. And that's what I love about art. Art doesn't have a right way or a wrong way or a perfect way of expressing themselves or showing how you can express your own person. Art just is there for you to calm down, relax, be in the down low, or just be there just to draw, to paint with watercolor, to reset your day, to help calm you down, to help you get over your bad day of work, your bad day of school, or just help you as a person develop and grow. And I love that. I feel that any type of art prompt during the October season will always be something that I'm excited for, and mostly the atmosphere just changes and it just has that fall type of feeling. And I want to say thank you, Milky Tomato, and thank you to all the artists who create these types of art prompts. And I hope that you guys enjoy this video. There is another video that will be coming out based on Milkytober once again, and I'm hopefully going to talk more about Milkytober and hopefully talk more about the art itself. I'm still trying to figure out the schedule for the live streams on TikTok. So again, the days that you should probably show up for the live streams are Fridays and Saturdays, or Fridays and Sundays, because those are the days that I don't have so much pressure and I don't overwhelm myself. But also those are the days that are really chill and relax. And also, I cannot wait for this spooky season to start. I am really excited, I'm really amped up, and I cannot wait for the October spooky season to start. I hope that you guys enjoy this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you guys have a nice day, night, or whatever, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks!